Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Jando. Welcome back to our Operation Freedom Health and Wellness series. It is my honor to welcome back to our platform one of the top naturopathic physicians in not just our country but the world, Dr. Peter Glidden. He's also a phenomenal researcher and a fantastic author. His 2 books are available on his website, drglidden.com, also available on Amazon. The book should be the foundation of your medical library. They are of our medical library in the Janda household. Everybody is sick, and I know why. An attempt to cure with holistic medicine. This is a series of presentations that Peter and I have been making over the past 3 years. And we have one purpose in mind and goal: empower you. To empower you. The bought-off lamestream fake media, big medicine, big insurance, and big pharma do not want you to know about the healing and wellness capabilities of your own body. And that's exactly what we're all about. So that you don't need big pharma, big medicine, big insurance, or big government. Our goal is to provide you the facts and the data and the science and nutritional components available at operationfreedomhealth.com so that you can enhance your own wellness without having to delve into the world of big pharma, big medicine, big insurance, and big government. Today, what we're going to talk about is the importance of not amino acids like Peter and I are, but amino acids and how they help you. If folks are going to say, "Oh, amino acids, come on, there's really, oh, yeah, really, yeah, no. This amino acids are operative word critical to your health and wellness." It's my honor to welcome back to our platform Dr. Peter Glidden. Pete, welcome back to the Operation Freedom Health series on wellness and longevity, actually.
Yeah. I'm really excited to be here. I love talking about this topic. It's really easy for people to understand, and there's a wealth of information that can really help people. But before we go there, I just want to say, I thought about something when you were doing the introduction. You know, in the United States of America, believe it or not, the only thing that can legally treat a disease is a drug. Now, says who? Who said that? Who made that a law? Well, the pharmaceutical industry made that a law.
Right. And
that should be illegal because that's like, reminds me of the RICO statute.
Yeah, right.
Right? I mean, you shouldn't be able to...
Beyond a conflict of interest.
100%.
Right.
But that's the way that it is right now.
Yeah.
That's why when you go to a health food store, it doesn't say arthritis fix. It says bone and joint health.
Bone and joint health. And
the Food and Drug Administration doesn't like it when people like myself get up in public and say, there's other ways to treat disease besides drugs, because there are other ways to treat disease besides drugs. And in a free and fair and just society where we had a free medical market, if people had equal access to my type of medicine and conventional MD allopathic medicine, besides trauma care, complications of childbirth, surgery when it's necessary, military field medicine, people would go to see the naturopathic doctor because we get results. We actually deliver therapeutics that make the body healthier and which attempt to cure the condition. And in a free medical market, people would gravitate towards that option because, why wouldn't you do that?
That's right.
So the only reason that people don't do that is because we don't have a free medical market, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Therefore, we've got ridiculous laws on the books, like the only thing that can treat a disease is a drug. And as bad as your...
We lost your audio, Pete.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
As bad as your listeners think it is, It's 10 times worse.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Because all it takes is somebody at the FDA to wake up one morning and have a vendetta against somebody like me, and they're going to come after you regardless, and the research doesn't matter because they make the rules up as they go along. And they're hammering the Canadian nutraceutical manufacturers right now with these ridiculous laws. Oh, you need a $10,000 piece of equipment in the laboratory that you're making the vitamins in now in order to be compliant with our new and improved public health safety standards. It's ridiculous.
It is.
The reason that they're doing it is to try to force the non-drug manufacturing health-related companies out of business. And they get away with it because of the monopolization of the medical marketplace and the unimaginable wealth and power of the pharmaceutical industry. And that's why I'm excited every time I get on your platform, because, you know, even if just one person takes action on what I say, well, that's a victory.
That's right.
Even if it's just one person.
Because that one person will become an ambassador, and studies show will influence another 13 people.
Here you go.
And those 13, by benefiting, will then it becomes exponential. And so, Pete, let's talk about this importance of amino acids, because this is something Big Pharma doesn't want people to know about.
So, amino acids. Every proteins are made from amino acids. Mm-hmm. And amino acids are essential. Mm-hmm. There are 12 essential amino acids. There might be more, but right now the scientific community has pretty much agreed that there are 12 essential amino acids. Now, what's an amino acid? Well, what's a protein? A protein is a bunch of, imagine that an amino acid is a pearl. Mm-hmm. A protein is a string of pearls.
Right.
All that a protein is a bunch of different amino acids strung together, mm-hmm. held together with chemical bonds. Mm-hmm. And when you look at the structure of the amino acid, they're very complicated, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. very convoluted structures, mm-hmm. right? Like Mobius strips inside of Mobius strips, and it's really super complicated. But when you boil it all down to brass tacks, it's just amino acids that are daisy-chained together. Mm-hmm. And proteins are essential to the diet. In order to be optimally healthy, we need about 60 to 70 grams of protein every day. Mm-hmm. Why do we need protein? Because we need the amino acids. Mm-hmm. So what happens in a healthy stomach? Well, the stomach acid in a healthy stomach breaks the chemical bonds that hold the amino acids together. Mm-hmm. So it's like taking the string of pearls and pulling it apart and releasing all of the individual pearls. Mm-hmm. So, and in this metaphor, the individual pearls are amino acids. So now instead of a chain of amino acids, we have free amino acids floating through the digestive tract or moving through the digestive tract. And the structures in the digestive tract suck the amino acids up like little vacuums, like little octopus tentacles, mm-hmm. put them into the general circulation, and the body uses them. What does the body use amino acids for? Well, what doesn't the body use amino acids for? Amino acids are needed for virtually every single thing. Your muscle integrity demands amino acids. Your immune system is made from amino acids. Your immune system is made from protein. Your immune system is made from amino acids. This is why chicken soup is an old-fashioned, reliable remedy when you get a head cold or a fever or a flu, because it's a really easy-to-digest protein, which gives the body lots of amino acids almost instantaneously. Kidney metabolism demands amino acids. Deficiencies in amino acids can create nervousness and anxiety, and also cause dizziness and general overall malaise and weakness. And one of the most important things that the body, well, these are all important, but an interesting thing that the body needs amino acids for is the proper regulation of fluid distribution in the body. Because when cells do work, every cell in the body is like a little engine. And it gets sugar into the engine. The little engine does work, and then it creates waste products. And those waste products go into the extracellular fluid. It's the fluid that's around the cells of the body.
Mm-hmm.
That fluid, if your protein and amino acid levels are sufficient in your bloodstream, those waste products will spontaneously absorb into your blood vessels and your lymphatic system. It's kind of like if you take a sponge and you put it into a thing of water, the water automatically sucks up into the sponge.
Mm-hmm.
If the sponge is saturated, that's not going to happen.
Right.
So in this metaphor, the unsaturated sponge, the sponge is kept unsaturated because of the presence of protein. So when we have people who experience fluid accumulation in their legs,
mm-hmm.
the first thing to consider is you just don't have enough protein in your blood. Because when you don't have enough protein in your blood, instead of the fluid going into the blood vessels and being carried into the kidneys to get rid of,
nope,
it comes from, goes the other way, it reverses.
Mm-hmm.
So water accumulates, fluids accumulate, instead of being sucked up into the system and eliminated. And that's not because you've got congestive heart failure. It's not because you've got kidney failure. It's because you simply didn't have enough protein in your diet, which reads you didn't have enough essential amino acids in your diet. And I mean, I never crunch these numbers, but at least 50%
mm-hmm.
of the people, my patients who have experienced edema, mm-hmm. water accumulation from the waist down, mm-hmm. and, you know, their physicians told them it was because they had a bad heart. It wasn't their heart at all. It was just they were deficient in protein. Mm. And so I just tell them to eat more protein, take the foundation pack, in 3-4 weeks, it's gone. I mean, it's just gone. So these are important considerations to understand. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't understand these considerations, then you're going to be in a world of hurt. I mean, if you never tuned your automobile up, never changed the oil, never changed the air filter, put the wrong fuel in it all the time, and never put air in the tires, well, it's not going to be a very comfortable ride. Mm-hmm. And you're going to get used to driving around in an uncomfortable ride. And you're going to look around and everybody else on the highway is driving around in an uncomfortable ride. So that just must be the way that it is. But it's not. It's only an uncomfortable ride because you didn't know how to tune your car up. And with simple steps like this, mm-hmm. they can create really profound differences in your life. So it's an interesting experiment to do. You know, we're proponents of the Healthy Foundation Pack, which is found at Operation Freedom Health, mm-hmm. because in the Healthy Foundation Pack, you get all of the essential nutrients, including the essential amino acids. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They're there. Your bases are covered. You don't need to do anything else because you've got the stuff that you need. And it's also an interesting experiment. Just for 7 days in a row, make sure that every day, as an in-house experiment, you consume 60 grams of protein every day. Every day. I don't care if it's chicken protein or if it's fish protein or if it's rice and beans together in the same meal, nuts, meat, pork. I don't care. Protein, as long as it's not on the 12 bad food list, 60 grams of protein every day, like your life depended on it, for 7 days, and look to see how that affects your overall health. Because I am of the opinion that most people, number one, are dehydrated. Most people do not drink enough water. Mm-hmm. And number two, most people are deficient in protein. Mm-hmm. And when you're deficient in protein, a lot of very important systems in the body are going to start to be downregulated. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you're going to get used to feeling crappy. Mm-hmm. And then when that stops and all of a sudden you get a clue and you upregulate the protein, a lot of things change. Which is one of the reasons why when people do the foundation pack, they feel a noticeable difference within a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. I know I did.
Why is that? Well, it's because you got used to mediocrity. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You didn't know any better. Your body was suffering and needed this stuff, and all of a sudden it's got this stuff, and bada bing, bada boom, everything's better. So again, This isn't rocket science. You don't need a CT scan or an MRI to figure this out. You just need to take the foundation pack and do a little increase the protein experiment for 7 days and see how you feel.
And as Pete mentioned, the products are available, the foundation pack, that as it relates to the amino acids and the other 90 essential nutrients, is available at operationfreedomhealth.com. Full disclosure, purchase of the products does support this platform. Now, in addition, Pete has done a video that's free on the homepage of operationfreedomhealth.com toward the top of the page called The 12 Bad Foods. And at a minimum, that's where you start. Shouldn't be where you finish, but it should be where you start. Because the key is to keep you out of the hands of the medical industrial complex. Big pharma, big medicine, big insurance, and big government. Why? If the past 3 years does not convince you that you need to stay away, out at all costs, if at all possible, out of that system, I don't know what will.
You know, now here's a fun fact to know and tell, Dave. Mm-hmm. And it just reminded me of it when you were speaking about this. The human body has the biological potential to live to 120 years of age. Because every time your cells divide, they lose a little bit of genetic information. It's like making a copy of a copy. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that can only happen so many times before it can't happen anymore. Mm-hmm. And right now, the agreed upon age is about 120 years. But the average life expectancy in the United States is, what, 80 now?
Less, probably. I think 7, yeah, right?
And that's getting less. Every couple of years it gets less.
Yeah, it's getting less.
Right? Yeah. And the last 10 years of people's life in the United States, it's a revolving door to the emergency room. Most people are on 7 or 8 different prescription meds. Mm-hmm. The older that they get, the weaker that they get, the sicker that they get, the more dependent on emergency heroic medical care they get. And the lion's share of health insurance dollars are spent in the last 5 years of someone's life. Why is that? Because you're getting older? No. It's because you're not nutrified.
Right.
You've never tuned the car up. You've never done that. And you've always put the wrong type of fuel in it. Mm-hmm. Now, the reverse is true here, because when you smarten up and you start putting the right fuel in the body, mm-hmm. and you give it the essential raw materials that it needs on a regular basis, well, guess what? You're going to not only improve the quality of your life right now, but you are going to seriously upregulate your chances for a longer, healthier life. And that's a really important consideration. And, you know, it's a herd mentality now, because everybody's sick. And that's why I called my book, Everybody is Sick. And I know why, because, you know, that's the new normal now.
Right.
It's expected that the older that I get, the sicker I'm going to get. I might as well have medical insurance. Oh, how many prescription drugs are you taking? And this is the conversation that has developed, not because it's the human condition, but it's because it's the sociological medical mousetrap that everybody's inside of. And there is another way. And it's important that you understand what we're talking about here, the depth and the breadth of what we're talking about here, your listening audience, and take action, for goodness sakes, because the big pharma's going to keep growing.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to keep going.
Oh, yeah.
And it's time to take personal responsibility for your health. And in order to do that, you have to go outside of the box, and you have to enter our territory and let us hold your hand and give you a guided tour of holistic medicine land, because the chances are high you're really going to love the way that you feel.
There are 2 must-stop places for your holistic health. One is operationfreedomhealth.com, where the products we've discussed today are available. And again, full disclosure, purchase of the products does support this platform, so we can keep presenting this information to you. And also Dr. Glidden's site, drglidden.com. He has a tremendous amount of public information. He also has a subscription side to the service. His books are available on Amazon as well as on drglidden.com. Everybody is sick, and I know why. An attempt to cure with holistic medicine. I thank you, Pete, for everything you have done, are doing, and will do. I thank you for your time today and expertise. I thank you folks for joining me today. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail. Thanks for your time today.